What's happening? Rafiq's Reflections. Today what I'm going to address is basically an estimate of yourself as an artist. How to properly estimate your weight and what your work is worth as an artist. We live in an era where a lot of people talk about their movement, and about being a leader or a boss, having a movement, etc., etc. But here's the thing. Artists are usually recognized for their how prolific they are, how much effort you put into things, as far as how many releases you have, how often you do live performances, and the impact of your artistic creativity. And I would say that sometimes people's attitude and ego may outweigh their content or their output as an artist. So what I'm speaking on today is that the fact that I think artists should be more conscious of a balance between how much work you're actually putting out and how you're representing yourself in terms of your position in the game. How realistic are you going to be about who you are? The star mentality. How many shows have you done? How many cities have you done these shows in? Are you getting radio airplay? I'm the person that'll applaud anyone for being successful, an artist for being successful in the hip hop genre. In particular, someone that is, coming from my region, the Midwest, or Indiana in particular. But at the end of the day, I really like to encourage artists to get out and see the world and try to, hit up some other places. Indianapolis, Fort Wayne, South Bend, Evansville, wherever you want to go. Anderson, Muncie. But to remain stagnant and do and hit up multiple venues in all these different towns, hook up with the people, network with the people, not to say that a lot of these shows aren't going to probably be paid shows, but my thing is, to be a successful artist, you can pay for a lot of things in the business, almost everything. One thing you can't pay for is experience. So something that works in one town might not work in another town, in terms of your performance, how you carry yourself. A lot of people aren't ready to, I say a lot of people, a lot, that's a phrase that I use. A major percentage of people might be surprised if they go somewhere of the reaction that they'll get from natives in that particular town. They're not, recognized in. It's there's a lot of cats out there. I'd say not a lot, a few people that are paving the way by reaching out and doing shows in some of these other places and trying to get their name out, trying to spread, their name, and whatever town they're from, they're pretty much carrying that on their back in these places that they travel, because that's the reputation of the town rides on whether or not the artist rocked the show or how he behaved when he got there, etc., etc. And as a if we start looking at the big picture as a network, it's good when people travel outside of their own comfort zone and actually reach out and try to do something in other places. And also that gives you the qualification to claim that you're not even a boss or a star, but I would say that someone would be more entitled to call themselves a star, a boss, if they're actually getting out there and grinding and actually attempting to get paid for that? Do you have a CD out? Do you have an album? Do you have merchandise? Do you have t-shirts? Or are you just blowing smoke up the masses' asses? I mean, a lot of that fluff really has nothing to do with success. You know, success, the bottom line in the music business, is getting paid for your craft. Is money coming to your PayPal account every week? Are you selling CDs at your shows? I mean, that's the bottom line. You know, as far as talent goes, that's another story. You know, that's really a matter of opinion. The numbers don't lie. And sometimes a funny thing that I run into, a funny dynamic is that this whole stylistic, I say style wars, where it's like you have artists that have a more mainstream approach to how they handle their music and their presentation. And but these cats might not really have that much of a following, might not have a CD out, might not do a whole lot of shows, maybe kind of stay in one area. But I've encountered this myself. You know, this is a personal thing. They'll look at someone like myself or someone similar to me that does like maybe a little off-kilter music that's not really top 40 friendly. You know, it's just like me doing my music from the heart. But yet I do shows constantly. I do charity events. I got people all over the world reaching out to me for guest features, not to toot my own trumpet, you know. People sending me beats all day. And, you know, I work with producers from various different places, New Zealand and Europe, Eastern Europe, what have you. And Zulu fam everywhere, Universal Zulu Nation. And it's like, and I've been a few places, done a few things. You know, I don't claim to be a star or celebrity, but at the same time, what kills me is that there are people out there that haven't done 1/5, 1/10 of what I have done as an artist, that live by that code of being a boss or a celebrity, or you know, or that type of mentality, you know. And it's like, when you look at it, it's kind of like a sense of entitlement, you know. Like, nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you anything. Nobody owes you respect. You have to earn respect by the merit of your work, the content of your work, and the how prolific you are as a worker, how much you put out, and how much material you put out, how much work and time and effort you put into it. Otherwise, I mean, we live in the information age. Anybody with a laptop can snatch a beat off, you know, SoundClick, or snatch a song off of snatch a Drake instrumental off the internet and record a song and you know, put a video out, and then, you know, front like they're, you know, like they're doing something, you know. And I'm not, you know, the thing is, I'm not trying to deliver a blow to anybody's ego, you know. This is just my view of reality. And my view of reality is be humble. Be humble. Don't front. You know, it's an old school hip hop term, fronting. Be real with yourself. You know, if you're not, it's all, you know, the fake it till you make it mentality. It's like, that might work for some people, you know. But if you've been faking it throughout your whole career, and you never make it, then what have you been the whole time? Oh, pardon me. What have you been the whole time? If you're faking it throughout your whole career and you never make it, that fake it to make it game only works for some people. So that means you've been fake the whole time. You've been fake. And you know that the Hollywood mentality is kind of like it's like a disease in show business. You know, it's like people might see, okay, there's an artist on TV that smokes weed in the studio and sits around the studio for 7 hours writing a song, smoking weed. And a lot of people don't understand that the label, they're in a professional studio for one, and for two, the label is paying for their studio time 9 times out of 10. You know, so they're entitled to sit in there all day and do whatever they want to do, as long as the engineer or the owner of the studio is cool, and create a song But when people are on a basic, like a working class level, or even a middle class level, 9 times out of 10, as a musician, you have to come to the studio prepared. And it's always best to have a pre-production set up at your house, you know. And that's another thing. It's like the pre-production demos that artist makes at their house might not always be the quality to compete with other people that have more resources. See, we got to learn how to, you know, independent underground artists have to learn how to make things sound professional, dealing with a bare minimum. And that's also something that you can't buy. That's experience, trying to, you know, polish up something and make it sound semi-pro, or maybe even professional by some standards, in your living room. It's a task. It's a puzzle, and some of us can actually do that when we put our minds to it. So that's what it is, you know. Don't front. Be real with yourself. Let your work prove your value, and be humble, man. Be humble. We all in this together, you know. Ain't none of us signed to Rockefeller. So let's be real about this. You know what I'm saying? Hollywood, you know, the whole Hollywood thing, that's all good, you know. But at the end of the day, who outside of your circle, or outside of your town, or even your state, look at the big picture. Who really cares? You know, who really cares? You know, are you putting in work? Are you putting in enough work to get that name out there? Does your name resonate? Do you ring bells in other places? If so, more power to you. If not, please stop front. Please stop front. We got enough of that, you know. It's too many. You know, you got to start off with an entry-level position first. There's too much of this out here, you know. Let's be realistic. Cats need to unswell their heads. You know, they got balloon heads. They need to stick a needle in there, deflate your head a little bit, you know, and come down to reality, and you know, be realistic about things, you know. Shows at dive bars and shows at stadiums and theaters are two different things. So let's get real. More power to everyone that's been watching and listening to what I have to say. Peace to everyone, you know. Big up to my Zulu fam, and we gonna keep it moving, you know. Just like I said on Facebook today, I posted, no weapon formed against us shall prosper, you know. I mean, we're steadfast in our belief, and we keep it moving like that. We ain't gonna change, you know what I'm saying? We can elevate and evolve without having to change our basic principles, and that's what we do. We're real about this. We live this. This ain't a put on, you know what I'm saying? Hip hop to the death of me. That's what's up. Peace.